Well, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Crunch Time on this nice Saturday. It's like a heat wave. It's like 90 billion degrees here in upstate New York with some humidity. So it's not fun to go outside. So happy to be a basement dweller today for Crunch Time here with my boys, TJ and Keith. TJ, what's up, dude?
Doing well. Excited to talk some baseball. The fiance's out of town, so I ran 150. I'm excited to get into it.
All right. Once you're married, you do know you can run 300, correct? You do know.
Yeah, that's the rumor. That's the rumor I've heard.
What's up, Keith?
Not too much, Another good Saturday. Nice little MLB slate here. Little difference between the two sites. We'll talk about that. And a little UFC card. Not quite as good of a UFC card as we've had here recently, but it's still fun to watch.
Yeah, baseball. There's all the. I'm in New York. I got like 8 sports books and all the prop sites. So lots of fun. I do have. Last Saturday I hit on a couple of good Fanduel bets. I got a good one for you today. We'll talk about that a little later. In starting pitching, get ready to ladder up a particular player's strikeout prop today. But I want to thank Fanduel for sponsoring the show. If you want to check them out, we've got our single entry series going on over there. You can get into all the fun stuff over there. No MME. It's $50K in bonus cash up for grabs. It's the second week. Don't feel like because you missed the first week, you're left out in the cold. That there's ways for you to catch up and all that pretty easily. Make sure to check it out on FanDuel for baseball. There's a championship in Chicago on September 9th for a $10,000 grand prize. All expenses paid trip to get out to that. So make sure to check that out. All right, Keith, you mentioned the difference between the sites. We'll start easy. Me and you will handle some cash game stuff on FanDuel today. And I'm having a hard time not starting my cash game on FanDuel without Carlos Rodon. Just clearly the highest strikeout upside, the best matchup. There's basically everything you would want in a starting pitcher today. His price is a little high, but you can make that work relatively easily today. The projection is miles ahead of everyone else. There's not a big enough price gap. He's definitely my dude on FanDuel today.
Yeah, absolutely. You cannot ask for a better matchup going into Oakland. Outstanding pitchers ballpark, massive strikeout upside for Rodon, and a really weak opposing offense. So everything is lining up. Rodon is very clearly the FanDuel cash play.
Yeah, and I think even on DraftKings, you're probably going to pair him. The difference on DraftKings is we have this Mets game also, and you have Max Scherzer there today. Now, he's 10-6, and Rodon is 9-5. My question to you on DraftKings, do you think pairing them, there is a plethora of sub 3K and even bare minimum 2K value on DraftKings today. You can pair both of them together if you want to. Is that your preferred option, or do you want to maybe dial down, maybe start with Rodon and use a Lodolo or an Ashby or somebody else to possibly get a couple of the big bats in there today?
So there are a ton of value bats. In particular, San Francisco, I absolutely love this spot for them, and they are really cheap on both sites. A matchup against Aller, who's just not a good starting pitcher, has given up a ton of hard contact, like a ton of ISO, like just gives up a ton of power. San Francisco is set up really well, and they have a ton of bats. We did get Luis Gonzalez up in the 2-hole as well, who is really cheap along with Jock Peterson. There's several other, you got Vinny P at first base, plenty of punts. I think the very clear move is to go up to Scherzer. I do like those other 2 cheaper pitchers, but Scherzer, tougher matchup against Atlanta, but there's plenty of strikeouts in this Atlanta lineup. So even if he gives up a home run or 2, which he likely will, he still should be fine with the strikeouts. I'm going Max and Rodon double barrel on DraftKings.
All right, TJ, before I get to you on some of your tournament pitchers, I just want to know, I got a couple of people asking about weather. Nothing from Roth looks like I should really have any weather concerns. I brought it up on the screen here for everyone. Someone asked about Minnesota. The storms likely stay south. It's somewhat close. He thinks an interrupted 9 is the likely outcome at Minnesota. It's hot, humid, everything in Kansas City. So that's a hitter's game. To me, it doesn't seem like there's any weather concerns. So I just wanted to get that out in the open for everybody today. All right, TJ, tournaments. What do we, if Rodon and on DraftKings we have Scherzer, if these are like the players we all want to use and the salary today allows you to get them because like he said, some of the Giants are so cheap on both sites today. How are you getting different, or would you maybe go all in on those two today?
I'm definitely not going all in. I'm looking to differentiate. I agree with the cash game plays, and I would even on DraftKings, I'd go double barrel 100% as well. On FanDuel, where I'm playing lots today, I'm getting about 20% Rodon. And that's by design, trying to get under the field on him, and I'm keeping a tight pool and just trying to get overweight on all the other guys I have in the pool. So Merrill Kelly is one of my favorite pitchers for tournaments. If you're wanting to pay down a little bit, I don't mind going to somebody like Dane Dunning. He's got a pretty strong matchup against the White Sox, who aren't that strong against right-handed pitching. Dunning really struggles against lefties, but they only got 3 lefties in the lineup there today. So I don't mind Dunning for tournament. Ashby and Lodolo, because of their strikeout upsides, are going to be 2 guys I get to as well. Sprinkling in a little bit of Nathan Eovaldi, Michael Kopech, Mitch White, and we're talking like sub 5%. Yeah, that's basically it. I'm getting a lot of 15 to 20% of different pitchers today who I think can match the upside of Rodon.
So you mentioned Merrill Kelly. Merrill Kelly is my FanDuel bet of the day today for strikeouts. It was over 4.5 at like minus 130 early this morning. Now it's over 5.5 at plus 128. You can ladder that all the way up to 8+ strikeouts. He already did that against Colorado at home in his last start. He's pitching great recently. He's a better pitcher at home. Absolutely can get behind Merrill Kelly as a great tournament play. I don't think you need to get that in cash like me and Keith were discussing, but he is my FanDuel bet of the day if you want to ladder up his strikeouts today. Lodolo, you didn't mention Lodolo. Are we not? Do you not like strikeouts, TJ?
I did mention Lodolo.
Oh, you did? All right. Maybe I missed that. Yeah, I love Lodolo, right, Keith? Keith, we got to play some Lodolo in tournaments today.
Yeah, absolutely. Dude looks phenomenal. Has shown big strikeout stuff already. Not scared of this matchup against Milwaukee necessarily. So agree. There's a ton of upside there.
Yeah, I like that. You got some in our Discord. A couple Carolina guy want to know your favorite stack in a FanDuel tournament, TJ, and your favorite single entry pitcher if you're on FanDuel.
Yeah, so my favorite single entry pitcher is going to be Merrill Kelly, and I got to say, we got over 200 people watching right now. Free content on a Saturday, courtesy of FanDuel. So hit the like button. We'll get a Spidey Bomb at 75 likes here today. They have been hot lately. Let's do it. The Dodgers and the Blue Jays are my 2 top favorite stacks for tournaments by a long shot. The Dodgers, I think, are going to be quite a bit lower owned. So for a single entry, I would say the Dodgers are probably my favorite to be a stack to kind of win it all. Their lefties outside of Muncy are just going really low owned, and I really like this spot for them today. And so we're going with a Merrill Kelly. I like the Dodgers, and I like the Blue Jays.
Yeah, that sounds good. The rest of the offense out there, let's sort of get over to that. If you like the Dodgers, what other teams would you be looking at on this evening, TJ, at least from the tournament perspective? Who do you think is going to be popular? A couple teams you think might go under the radar. I know you like the Dodgers. I can definitely get on board the Dodgers as well. Is there anyone else you're looking at?
Yeah, so I think the highest owned stack of the day is probably going to be Boston. I don't think that's necessarily bad chalk. I am getting to quite a bit of Boston as well. My top 3 owned teams are the Dodgers, the Red Sox, and the Blue Jays. The next tier for me coming in, all 3 of those teams I have at over 20% stack percentage right now. The next tier I have of groups over 10% is the Yankees, the Padres, the Royals, as well as the Diamondbacks. The Royals and Diamondbacks come in for some salary saving. The Yankees and the Padres, obviously, because they have immense upside. And then the next group I like quite a bit is St. Louis and San Francisco. Those are kind of my next favorite stacks on the board.
All right. Before we get to the rest of the baseball, NFL is right around the corner, and we now have PSU fans, as Sean Newsom. Great follow. If you follow bets, you can follow stuff on the Action Network app. You can get access to some of his stuff on there. But he's going to have basically all of his NFL preseason stuff. He's great at projections and things like that. There's going to be shows with him. Make sure to get access to NFL Premium to be able to watch, get all access to all of his stuff. One of the better NFL preseason minds in these niche little slates and things like that. Being able to get access to that can give you a big edge in the fields, and the sites do put up big tournaments for that. So make sure to check that out. All right, Keith, let's do some cash game rundown from some bats. And I want to start catcher on DraftKings today because normally we sort of puke at catcher, but it's a reasonably good slate today. I want to know, I'm sort of in this. I like Kirk today going. I think he's in a really strong spot today, and he's 4,200 compared to maybe a Will Smith who might just be a little bit too expensive. If you want to, even with all the 2K bats out there, if you still want to play Aaron Judge, you got to save a couple of bucks somewhere. So I really like Kirk today. Where are you standing at the catcher position?
Yeah, catcher is generally a position I like to punt in cash. But we have so many punts at other positions. I agree. You can spend up a little bit here. I'd like that price on Kirk quite a bit. He's having a breakout season. Bundy gives up a ton of hard contact. So I'm with you. I like the price on Kirk. I think Will Smith and Salvador Perez are two options that you could look to as well. If you have a little bit of extra money, but Kirk at 4,200 is the one that makes the most sense to me.
Yeah, that's where I'm going today, at least on DraftKings. And on FanDuel, I don't really see myself needing a catcher today, at least in cash, so we'll skip over that. I know you're playing mostly on FanDuel with your 150, but what do you like outside of FanDuel, at least on DraftKings, in terms of catcher for tournaments today, TJ?
Believe it or not, I got a ton of catchers in FanDuel today as well, including one in my main lineup. So we like this Toronto stack. Everybody always loves Alejandro Kirk. I like Danny Jansen. Danny Jansen is always one of my favorite tournament pivots. He's had a absolutely phenomenal season. He's got a 237 ISO, I believe it is, this year to right-handed batters. He's one of my favorite ways to get different in a Toronto stack. I love Salvador Perez in a stack or as a one-off. Dalton Varsho, I think, is a really strong play as well.
All right, let's go to first base. Cash Keith, a spot I'm finding myself saving some money around the industry today. Of course, I would like to play a Freddie Freeman or a Paul Goldschmidt or even a Pete Alonso. You can play Vlad on FanDuel. But I'm eyeing the Brandon Belt 3K on DraftKings, 2,500 on FanDuel. This looks like a really nice spot to unleash Brandon Belt today.
Yeah, if I was spending up, Vladimir Guerrero would be the option I look to. He's my favorite expensive first baseman, but we do have some really good cheap first basemen as well. Brandon Belt, as you mentioned, love this spot for these Giants. Very cheap price. He's a better hitter than this price. He is definitely the play on FanDuel. Over on DraftKings, I don't mind him there if you have the money. But we also have Vinny Pasquantino for Kansas City, who is near minimum price if you need to save a little bit more.
Yep, those would probably be my two. And you can definitely find Vlad. If you had to, you can mix Vlad in, but I found myself saving a couple of bucks today. I know. Do you like your Blue Jays today?
I do. Vlad's my highest owned bat on this slate. And before I get too deep into first base here, reminder that we're only 16 likes away from the Spidey Bomb, and it's easy to do, and we simply need you to hit the like button. It's an easy equation. You hit the like button, RotoGrinders makes more money from YouTube. The more money RotoGrinders makes from YouTube, the more free content and giveaways we can do. So just hit the like button. It's good for all of us. Vladimir Guerrero is my highest owned bat. Freddie Freeman is another first baseman here I like. If I'm trying to save salary, Brandon Belt, not Varsho. That's catcher. Bobby Dahlbeck, Christian Walker are all plays that I like. And then outside of that, I'm basically just filling out stacks.
All right. It looks like we're at 73 likes. So get your Spidey Bomb ready. I'm imagining that people will get to it by the time it's time for you to talk second base. Let's go there with Keith first for cash. What does it look like for you today, man?
Max Muncy continues to be far too cheap on FanDuel. He's in the fifth hole today after he's been kind of lower in the order here recently, but back up to 5. Muncy just way too cheap. Don't mind this matchup against Clevenger. I think he's the play over there on FanDuel. On DraftKings, I'm looking to save some money here. Christian Arroyo is minimum price, batting 6th for Boston against a lefty. So he makes a ton of sense as somebody I'm looking to play one of those punts that we're talking about.
Yeah, if you want to go double premium, you're going to have 2 or 3 2K punts, I think, today in your DraftKings team, in my opinion. All right, TJ, I've got the FanDuel app open. I'm looking for the Spidey Bomb. Which game am I going to?
Oh, it's a lot of pressure. I was prepping to talk about second base first here.
Well, we can go. I want to get my bet in. I got it open. I'm ready.
All right, today's Spidey Bomb, the first one, and to be clear, we'll get a second, maybe less chalky one once we get to 100 likes, but the first Spidey Bomb of the day today is going to be Manny Machado.
He looks like he's going to be reasonably popular today. To hit a home run on FanDuel, what do you think his odds are?
Plus 210.
I was going to say plus 300.
Plus 310, so it's better than both of you. This must be a reasonably good bet. I'm putting my money in on Manny Machado. You get us to 100, we'll give you a second one. How does that work? 84, does that sound good, TJ?
Sounds great to me.
All right, we'll do that. What are you looking at for second base today?
Yeah, so at second base today, I think is a good position to get a little different. Now, there are guys like Muncy, who's just so cheap on FanDuel that I'm playing regardless. But outside of that, Gleyber Torres, Ketel Marte, Gavin Lux, Brandon Drury, DJ LeMahieu, Kevin Biggio. I think these are all really strong players that people aren't going to be getting to in large bunches today. I think the position we're not going to have to worry about chalk too much at all. And so for the most part, outside of Muncy, I'm just filling out my stacks.
All right, let's run to third base. Is this a save? Is this a spend? We had Machado. Machado is popping in the projections today. Are we spending up or are we saving? This is basically a decision point. I like Machado, but I don't care what the bat says about Aaron. I'm playing Aaron Judge on DraftKings. He's FanDuel's a little different because FanDuel has priced him up so much higher than everyone else.
Yep.
I found that a little tougher. But I'm playing Aaron Judge, so I had to. I don't know if I can afford Machado today. How are you handling it?
I can't build a cash lineup without a Spidey Bomb, so I'm getting Machado in there.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like this spot. He's been outstanding this year, especially against lefties. So yeah, I think Machado is a priority spend today.
Yeah, on FanDuel, if you can't get up to Machado, I like Josh Rojas is 2,800. I know TJ likes some of the Arizona bats. He's probably going to be a part of your stack. And then leading off against Colorado, probably going to get the 5 at bats. He was someone I was looking at. And if you weren't playing Muncy on DraftKings, just he's finally starting to hit a little bit better. It took him all season, I think, to get healthy. He's 4,300. If you just need to save a couple of bucks, I know Machado 5,100 on DraftKings is really nice. I tried to do everything I could to really get him in there today. George Springer being out threw my lineups for a loop a little bit. So I had to switch things up a little bit earlier, and I can't get to him, but I'm not going to fault anybody for playing Machado. He's the Spidey Bomb, so he's going to hit a home run. So I'm probably going to lose on DraftKings today. What about in tournaments, TJ, at the hot corner? If we're all playing Machado, he is the Spidey Bomb. I'm assuming you have a lot of them. Who else are you looking at today?
Yeah, Machado's my highest owned, and I do got to say, even in cash on FanDuel, if I am looking for a salary saving option at third, I think Josh Donaldson would be the one I'd want to go with. He's still just super cheap there. He's been hitting the ball well lately. You can play Max Muncy and Kevin Biggio at this spot as well, but the other guys I'm getting to a lot of is it's really going to be a payout position outside of Donaldson for me. Bobby Witt Jr., Rafael Devers, Matt Chapman, Brandon Drury. Those are my next highest owned guys at the position.
All right. Shortstop are, on DraftKings, we've got Brandon Crawford, who's 2K, hitting 6th. He's back off the injured list. That's probably one of those spots where you're going to save money today. On FanDuel, you can get a little bit more of a premium shortstop. Crawford's 2,300. Are you using him over there, or are you going in sort of that mid-tier, or even trying to get up to Trey Turner?
So on FanDuel, there are a couple of guys who are just a little bit too cheap. I'm staying in the mid-tier here. Xander Bogaerts is the guy that I prefer. Yep. Bobby Witt Jr. has a very nice price as well. So I like getting to one of those two guys in the low 3K range, both just a little bit too cheap for the spot they're in today.
Yeah, I got Bogaerts on my FanDuel cash team currently right now as well. So I like that call. On the tournament side, TJ, right? Like on just put yourself on, if Brandon Crawford, he's not the highest upside hitter, but he's 2K. It lets you get your 2-star pitchers. It lets you get a Vlad or a Judge or a Betts or a Machado in your lineup pretty easily. If a lot of people are doing that, is he someone you could play a lot in tournaments, or would you maybe try to spend up a little bit to maybe be a little bit different on DraftKings today?
Yeah, I think there are so many good players at the position that in tournaments you can definitely look to get different. On FanDuel, Bogaerts is my third highest played player of the slate. I like Bogaerts, Bobby Witt Jr., Trey Turner, Corey Seager, Bo Bichette is someone I really like as well. And then Willie Adames is another good pay-up option. But if you're wanting to play a cheap option that's not Brandon Crawford, I think your option is going to be Paul DeJong.
Mm-hmm. If the Blue Jays were a bad team, TJ, would you like them as much every day, or is it just because they're a good team?
No, just because they're a good team. I feel like I do. So I do a pretty good job of keeping my bias out of my lineups, out of my bets, and out of.
I'm definitely not calling you out, right? I just think like if they had the Marlins lineup, would you be jamming in your Blue Jays?
Oh, heck no.
Yeah, I don't think I would be either in that case.
I don't recommend Blue Jays if they're not in really good spots. It's just if the Blue Jays are facing a low strikeout right-handed pitcher, that's the best case scenario for them.
Yeah, Bundy's going to be toast in my opinion today. All right, let's go to the outfield. Lots of ways to do this. There's a lot of cheap plays. Let's start cheap, Keith, right? Let's try to figure out who the best cheap plays are on each site. And that allows us to play the Betts, the Judge, the Sotos, right? Those type of players. So maybe try to rank each site's best, 1, 2 cheap outfielders for everybody.
All right, so let's start on FanDuel. The bad is going to try to tell you to play Joey Gallo, but I much prefer. I
overrode that.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure, she might hit a home run, but I think San Francisco is in way too good of a spot. I'm playing both of those guys in San Francisco. Jock Peterson leading off for 2,600. Luis Gonzalez batting second for 2,400. I think both of them are absolutely phenomenal options. Then I'd look to Tommy Pham against the lefty in Kansas City, 2,900 on FanDuel. If you've got a little bit more than that, JD Martinez at 3,200 is decent. I don't mind Verdugo at 2,500, lefty, and Lourdes Gurriel grabbed the leadoff spot for Toronto. So you do have a plethora of options here. I prefer the San Francisco guys, and then I'm trying to get to Pham. I'd say Gurriel and Verdugo would be next if I was doing the ranking.
Yeah, I like Jock, and I was so I've got Gonzalez on DraftKings, and I didn't want to go all Luis Gonzalez today, so I played Alec Thomas on FanDuel, who's 2,400. I think that's pretty close. I really like that Arizona team. I'm on TJ's side with that. I like Kelly. I like Arizona money line. I like Arizona any way you can bet them in any form today. Batters, pitchers.
You want a vacation there? Go for it. Just go for it. Arizona.
It's the same temperature here, but there's no humidity out there, so I'm sweating. I go outside for 5 seconds today. So that was just a little thought I had. And on DraftKings, I'm playing Aaron Judge. He's not priced high enough for what he's doing there. He's my priority, even against his old teammate. I know I'm playing Aaron Judge. He's not priced high enough on DraftKings today. And I like, if you had one outfielder to spend on today, would it be Judge? Judge on FanDuel is just a little bit expensive. So maybe on the next tier of the Betts, Buxton, Sotos, who's probably your favorite of all those, Keith?
Yeah, Judge is really expensive on FanDuel. I would go Mookie Betts as my spend up.
Yep, I'm on board with that as well. TJ in the outfield. Let me see. How many likes did we got to 88 likes. Guys, click the like button.
Give us 12 more. Come on.
We need 12 more. And after he's done outfielder, we're going to get that second Spidey bomb because I'm sure you guys are going to get over 100. What do you like there in the outfield, TJ?
Just a plethora of great plays today,
Plethora.
So because I'm underweight on
what's happening?
The one dog upstairs saw somebody outside, and so the other dog downstairs had to go see. Because I'm underweight on Carlos Rodon, I get to be overweight on a lot of the more expensive and a lot of the chalkier bats today. Tommy Pham is my highest owned outfielder, but I'm getting a lot of Byron Buxton, Aaron Judge, Mookie Betts, Teoscar Hernandez, Juan Soto, and then I really like this mid-tier as well. Lourdes Gurriel, Cody Bellinger, Joey Gallo, and even going cheap to Luis Gonzalez, Hunter Dozier, Gavin Lux, guys like that. Did we hit the 100 yet? No, we're only 91 away. I'm going to talk real slow.
Couple more likes, guys.
Hit this Spidey Bomb like button, and the second Spidey Bomb is actually out here in the outfield as well. I wanted to go someone somewhat chalkier like Buxton, but I promised something a little sneakier, so we're going with Tyler O'Neill.
All right, I like O'Neill. Let's see. Let me pull him up here. That's one of the earlier games, I think, tonight, isn't it? Or is that? Yeah, that's at 7:15. So on FanDuel. All right, let's see if you guys can. Oh, they pulled him. They knew. They knew it.
What's Buxton's?
Oh wait, no, here they are. O'Neill's plus 400. That seems way too low.
There you go.
All right, so let's go do that one. You probably would have said like plus 350 or something like that. So that the plus 400 seems pretty good for Tyler O'Neill tonight. All right, we're gonna go to Crunch Time channel in our Discord for our premium members. If you guys have questions, throw them in there, and then if you're in the YouTubes, you can post them, and I will get to them after we get to our premium members. Let's see. This was from earlier. Crazy Coop. We've probably answered this for you. Thoughts on the Giants today? I know I'm on them. Keith's on them. TJ, you on the Giants too?
Yeah.
Yep, that's a trifecta.
I wish I could get on them more than I am, but I do like them.
All right. Pinch hit risk. What do we think here? Keith, I don't know. Can you pull that up in the bat there? What's Mr. Cardi got for the pinch hit risk in San Francisco?
Yeah, I can pull them up here. Just give me 1 second.
All right, I'll come back to that one while you're looking at that one. Let's see if I got any other ones. Kansas City with Toronto for a single entry. This is from Jay. Do you think that's a good way to go tonight, TJ?
Yep.
Yeah, I think I can get behind that as well. You got that pulled up, Keith?
I am getting it loaded. Sorry, I didn't have the bat, and I have it now. I'm just looking for the pinch hit risk column.
While he's looking at that, the one thing I'd say is the only reason I don't love KC and the Blue Jays together as a combo is you can on even whether it's on FanDuel or DraftKings, you can only play 2 of Pasquantino, Vlad Guerrero, Salvador Perez, Alejandro Kirk, Danny Jansen. Like there's just so many guys at that position that I want to play from those 2 teams.
Keith, you get anywhere?
Yeah, I got it here. Let's see. Lamont Wade, 57%. Jock Peterson, 40%. That's a lot higher than I would have expected for Jock, but makes sense. 30% for Tommy LaStella, 27% Joey Bart, 21% Yastrzemski, 14% Luis Gonzalez.
It'd be pretty hard for me to not play Jock Peterson today. I mean, he's cheap. He's probably going to get 3, maybe for like the 5th at bat. If it's a close game, you could see it. But I still think Jock is in a pretty good spot today. I'm not really. I think it was Devin in there. I would pretty much ignore some of that, especially Jock leading off.
Yeah,
I mean, hard to believe he doesn't.
He's getting at least 2 at bats off of Aller, and I mean Aller has been really bad this year. Go look at some of his batted ball numbers and things like that. He's just giving up a ton of hard contact. So even if I only get two at bats and it gets pulled for a lefty that comes in, I'm totally fine with that.
All right, BHB wanted to know DraftKings cash: Yastrzemski, Gordon, or Senzel?
Give that to me one more time.
Yastrzemski, Nick Gordon, or Nick Senzel?
I'd go Senzel there.
Yeah, I'd play Senzel. Pretty close between him and probably Yastrzemski, but I'll take Senzel there.
Yeah, I've already got the other 2 Giants, so that's why I lean Senzel there.
NBA DFS, Luis Gonzalez or Grandal in FanDuel cash, if you have to. So Grandal, just a horrific season this year. I don't even know if I can trust him. I would play Gonzalez there.
That's Gonzalez easily for me.
All right. KC Boston game stack. Can we do that in a tournament today, TJ?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. D-Rock wants to know DraftKings tournament Ohtani, Judge, Mookie, rank them.
Is Ohtani on the DraftKings slate? Ohtani, Judge, and who was the other one?
Mookie.
Judge, Mookie, Ohtani.
Same for me, Keith.
Agree.
All right. Judge is always I don't know. He's having an unbelievable season, so he's going to be number 1 for me pretty much all the time. All right, let me run to YouTube. Let's see. I'm just looking at a couple right here. SP2, Kelly or Ashby? Who we got? So Ashby, I got in on some of his props today when they were a little bit lower, like 5. I got a 4.5 strikeout. I got some 5, and then now I think he's up to 5.5 or even 6.5. Who do we like between those two today?
Yeah, I would go Ashby. Cincinnati trading away Drury is a pretty big deal. They now have some really high strikeout bats in there, like Aristides Aquino. Jose Barrero struck out a ton in the minors. So there's a lot of strikeouts in this Cincinnati lineup.
Let's see here. I see TJ's in the YouTube answering some questions. All right, let me go back to our crunch time here. Soto or Yelich better today on FanDuel? TJ, I'll throw that to you.
Soto.
I would take Soto. Don't hate Yelich, but I'm going to take Soto over Yelich pretty much, even if it is lefty for Soto today. The chalk stack tonight, DraftKings single entry. What do we think that's going to be tonight, boys?
Boston.
That's what I was going to say too.
Keith, you think it's going to be Boston? Like JD Martinez has sucked the entire season.
Yeah, but it's JD against a lefty. That's kind of thing for 10
And
years.
he's hit lefties well this year. He's just hit righties like crap.
Yeah.
And he's cheap too. On DraftKings, he's like 3,900.
Yeah, I'm looking through some of it.
I mean,
it's probably, I think the Dodgers, it's probably going to be Boston. I think the Dodgers are going to be reasonably popular, TJ. And
having said this, I don't think we have to worry about chalk at our bats today at all. The only
ownership
chalk
I'm looking
have
at
to worry about is Carlos Rodon.
Yeah, I'm looking at the batting. Like, there's not a single bat projected. This is from Cardi. I don't know what the RG one is. I just have it pulled up because I don't know. It works better on my screen when I have it all the same. It's like 15, 16%, but I think there's a bunch of zeros in here, which might be throwing it for a loop. Yeah, it's just a bunch of people we really aren't going to play. So yeah, like TJ said, I don't think we really have to worry about ownership too much today. Would you stack a White Sox in a FanDuel? You got any White Sox GPP lineups, TJ, in your 150?
I do have them absolutely in my 150. They're not my top tier tournament stacks, but I'm sprinkling them in. They are my 10th highest owned stack.
All right, yeah. You got one lineup. Is that the team you throw in today?
No.
All right. Jay Sam's wanted to know FanDuel single entry. He's got Max and Betts from the Dodgers. He's got 2,800. Would you rather one-off Yastrzemski, Jock, or Max Kepler, or Gallo for a mini stack?
Gallo.
You like Gallo today? Are you on him as a Dodger?
Joey Gallo is the same person he always has been. He just has had less at bats.
Yeah, I don't know. Gallo's been just so bad. I'm going to need to see it from him a couple of times.
He is striking out 35% of the time with a 212 ISO this year to right-handed pitching.
Yeah,
sounds pretty Joey Gallo to me.
Yeah, it's a strikeout and a walk, or that's about it from Joey Gallo this year. So we're about a minute to lineup block. I just want to remind everyone, check out that FanDuel single entry series. It might be a little too late to get into it today, but it's not too late to participate in it and try to win your way to Chicago for the live final. It's week 2. It's not too late. Don't think, I missed a week, I can't get into it. It's a really fun tournament if you play it week after week after week. Probably the best tournament series out there, run by any site. I think the guys at RotoGrinders do a good job making sure that's a fun tournament for everybody to play in. TJ, I see you got
Before
something, TJ?
people get out of here, we're 2 likes away from 100. So just somebody click that like button on the way out so we get that nice triple digits.
All right, I'm jamming it, but I can only click it once. So we're back up to 98. TJ or Keith, any final thoughts? There's a couple of you do get any bets in today?
I didn't really like any of the strikeouts on the night slate here. I did have George Kirby earlier today, but yeah, I mean, Max was
Merrill
up
Kelly.
there at 7.5
Merrill
with heavy
Kelly.
juice. Yeah, I do like your Merrill Kelly call. I'll probably tell you on that one. Yeah, just nothing I really liked here on this one. Lodolo, I do like. The juice kind of got away from me on that one, but I do like Lodolo strikeouts today. And I looked at Ashby strikeouts as well. I just didn't pull the trigger on any of them, but I had heavy interest in those.
All right. Thanks to you guys. We got past the 100. Much appreciated for that. I know we didn't talk any scores and odds, but make sure to go check that out. That's our sports betting app. You get picks from everybody. I know Noto had a bunch of baseball picks. I just tailed all of those today. I think I bet, I don't know, 100 different things today. It's fun. Sport. I get a little too carried away, but it's in the end, it works out pretty well. So I can't really complain about all that.
These
TJ,
days where baseball is like all day long, like you look back at the end of the day and you're like, wow, I got quite a bit of action down today.
Yeah. TJ, hope your Blue Jays do well. Hope your 150 works out well for you and you end up towards the top of a couple of tournaments today. Keith, I hope MMA goes well for you. I don't hope everything goes good for everybody out there today. And those I want those home run calls. We need those Spidey bombs, TJ, to come through for everybody tonight. I guess that's going to be it today. So thanks for tuning in on your Saturday evening. We've got a show Sunday morning for you. I will not be on, but there will be other hosts on there. Make sure to tune in for that. And for Keith and TJ, I'm Britt. Thanks for watching, and we out ya.